When I got laid off, I thought that a 14-week severance was going to be enough to carry us through to the next job that I landed. But boy, was I sadly mistaken. And if you're over 30 and you've just been laid off, let's have a chat for a second. You're watching your savings disappear, and the job market makes you feel like you're never going to get another gig. And no one prepared you for how fast things can spiral out of control. But what if I told you with a few key steps, you can stop the panic, stretch your money, and bounce back smarter and better than ever? Today, I'm sharing the exact things I wish I knew before my own layoff. But there are 3 strategic moves that I've made to help us save our budget and better prepare for a layoff in the future. I'll talk about those in a few more minutes. You'll definitely want to stick around and hear this before making any off-the-wall decisions with your finances. Hey friend, it's Xavier, your job search cheerleader and your favorite marketing girly. I show up here every week to help folks navigating layoffs, rejection, and burnout get unstuck in what might be one of the craziest job markets we've seen in a while. All right, so here's what the people don't tell you, right? When you're over 30 and you get laid off, a layoff doesn't just hit your bank account, right? It hits your plans, your stability, your confidence. And I thought that as a person over 30, I'd have my shit together, but I don't. I thought I'd have 6 months worth of expenses saved up, a travel fund built out, credit cards paid off, student loans paid off, but I was wrong. I remember when I was laid off, it was around peak vacation season, right around Memorial Day weekend. And around that time, we had already booked and paid for a vacation for that summer. And of course, for my layoff, I received a 14-week severance, but a 3-month severance in this job market is essentially nothing because you have no idea how long you're going to be unemployed for in this job market. And on average, from my understanding, it takes folks 5 months or more to find a new job in this current environment. And we had a little emergency fund that we had saved up, but we weren't like building it with a sense of urgency like we should have. That was a huge mistake, and we definitely learned from it and definitely won't get caught slipping ever again without a robust, meaty emergency fund saved up. But as the months went on that I was unemployed and savings started to disappear and dissipate, like it was easy to start to panic because the mortgage is still due, we still gotta eat, so groceries gotta get bought, and of course bills don't stop whether you have a job or not. And since life goes on, whether or not you have a steady paycheck coming in, it's definitely easy to panic, especially as you're watching your savings decrease. Anyways, if you're still here, that means you want to know what we did after the check stopped. And since I got that one lump sum from my severance that we hoped would cover us over the term of my unemployment. First, we put a stop to all non-essentials except for Netflix. For whatever reason, we can't part ways with Netflix. Like, I think we're too loyal. But other subscriptions got the hatchet, and we stopped eating out as often as we used to. And spending money on unnecessary things, random trips to the store for literally nothing that we needed, those days were done. Then we reviewed our full budget. We looked at 3 months worth of bank statements to see exactly where our money was going, and we combed through those statements line by line to see where we can cut costs. And during that time, like, we got really honest with ourselves about what our must-haves were and what our need to or nice-to-haves are. And those nice-to-haves had to stop because they weren't necessities. And at the same time, while we were doing all this review of our finances, I applied for unemployment, and I did it ASAP. And I also did this shamelessly because, listen, we pay into unemployment every single paycheck, right? So as soon as you get laid off, like the day after you're finished kicking and screaming and yelling into the void or being pissed off and cussing people out, apply for unemployment immediately. Because even though what you get per pay period may not be enough to cover all of your expenses, but it'll help somewhat, right? I will say this, getting laid off and being forced to take a step back and reassess how we were spending our money has given my husband and I this completely new perspective on how we budget. So if I could go back, and this is what I really want you to walk away with from this chat you and I are having, I would do these 3 strategic moves that's helping us to save our budget now and better prepare for a layoff in the future. Number 1, treat your emergency fund like a bill. Pay that emergency fund first. I used to save money after all expenses were paid, like, oh snap, we got like $200 left over, and just throw that in the savings account without really taking into account what actually needed to be saved in that account on a monthly or bi-weekly basis to ensure that we were building a solid foundation for an emergency fund in the event that my job got cut or my husband's job got cut. Now we do automated payments every week out of our checking account into our high yield savings account. We use Ally. I think Ally gives you about a 3.5% interest rate on your savings account there. I recommend it. I use it, but I know that there are a ton of other high yield savings accounts out there that folks rally behind. And he and I also agreed that automating this savings goal was an absolute non-negotiable. Whether you're laid off and you're in the process of getting your life together, or you're employed currently and you just want to make sure that you aren't caught out here without a safety net, like, start building a buffer now and do it just in case. Number 2, I keep a quarterly resume and wins tracker. I think I said this in my layoff story in a previous chat we had. I got hired about 4 months after I was laid off, and I made it a point to swear to myself that this time around, I will never, ever get caught out here without tracking my work wins ever again. This time around, I've gotten real serious about tracking every single thing that I do. Every 3 months, I make sure that I track my work wins. If I made money for the business, if I worked on a major project that had a huge impact, I want to make sure I take account of those so I don't have to scramble around looking for those wins in the future when I need to update my resume for my next job. And I recommend that you do the same, like, track all of it. It'll make it so much easier for you to update your resume for future opportunities. And I know that a resume isn't the only thing that's going to get your foot in the door, right? Your resume alone won't secure the bag, but keeping track of everything you do on a quarterly basis can save you time in the long run. It can save you from scrambling around, asking your old coworkers, can you send me this, that, and the third? Like, it'll have you ready to go at least 2 steps ahead of the competition if and when you do get laid off again in the future. And number 3, don't sleep on LinkedIn. And I know I say this all the time, like in every single chat that we have, I say, don't sleep on LinkedIn, use your LinkedIn. But let me tell you, I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for that platform. I personally used to think that LinkedIn was a bit lame and that only cringy folks that wanted to brag all the time or highlight, like, oh, I got a new job here, there, or everywhere, whatever. That's what I thought that platform was for. And it really didn't appeal to me at first. But then I decided to be cringy right along with those people because I needed a job. And when I tell you I was on there all the time, friend, I was on there all day, every day, probably a little bit unhealthily, but I was on there. Is unhealthily a word? I was posting every day. I was commenting on other people's posts like crazy just to get eyes on my profile and to make connections with other people who were going through the same mess as me. And honestly, it paid off because my network helped me to land interviews and it helped me to land a job so that I was once again receiving a steady paycheck. And if that platform isn't for you, trust me, I understand. And I'm not sponsored, and I wish I was. LinkedIn, cut me the check. I'm not sponsored, but I'm only sharing this with you because it worked for me. So I would say just give it a shot, like try it out, post maybe once a month. And if you're working right now, like share what you're learning on the job, right? Engage with others, comment on their posts, DM people. It actually makes your name stand out before you need the network. And people say this all the time, like, your network is your net worth. So nurture your network so that it is there when you need it. You know what I mean? All right, I know I've been talking your ear off for a while, but if I can be real for just a couple more seconds, being laid off, especially after 30, isn't just a money thing, right? Like, it's a confidence thing. You start questioning your worth, your skills, your abilities, and you feel like you're gonna be laid off forever. I definitely started to feel that way. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like at the beginning of my layoff period, like I spent most of that time pissed the hell off. I was doom scrolling on LinkedIn and different job boards and spending a lot of my time sad about my situation, because you can't see the finish line for when your next interview could end up being your next job, right? And it's okay for you to feel that way, but it's also detrimental at the same time too. So the best thing that I did for myself was give myself grace. Sometimes we're harshest on ourselves, and I had to realize that that layoff wasn't my fault. And it wasn't a testament to my professional performance. It was something else that had nothing to do with me. And I also knew that I couldn't let this layoff keep me down for long, right? Like, I had goals to accomplish. I couldn't let my feeling let down by my employer keep me from getting to the bag to my next job, right? So then I got strategic, and of course you need a plan, right? But you also got to give yourself space to feel how you feel, because getting laid off is really messed up. Look, getting laid off will shake you regardless of your age, whether you're over 30, over 40, over 50, or just got into the job market. But it doesn't have to break you, right? Like, take it as a lesson and do your best to learn from it. Put as much money as you can into a savings account to make sure that you're building a solid cushion. Maybe you don't want your cushion to be solid, a soft cushion for future in the event that you do get laid off again. And most importantly, be kind to yourself through all of it, right? Like, give yourself grace. What's one thing you wish you knew before you got laid off? Like, let's talk about it in the comments. And if you need help with your job search, download my free checklist listed in the description below. It'll help you kick off your job search with AI. And if you're interested in what the Hubs and I are doing right now to recover from my layoff, check out this video here or here. I'll decide where to put it at. I'm new to this, so forgive me. Because the road to financial recovery after a layoff is hella long unless you've already set yourself up for success. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real talk about this crazy ass job market, because I've been there. And remember that you got this, friend. All right, thank you for being here and for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.